What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Gray Media. This is Josh here, checking in on you out there in YouTube land. YouTube, I'm gonna tell this for your own good. You got to hear it. You got to give yourself a quick little stretch and a bend. Oh my God! Welcome back. Oh, how are you doing? Welcome. I got my hydration station here. If I take little breaks to pause and sip some water, forgive me. I picked up like 25, 30 new people when I was sick, and I kind of feel bad about that. That's usually not the way things go, where there's 4 or 5 days without new content. So I apologize, but I am stoked to be back. We're going a little bit off the beaten path tonight. We went from, 3 years ago with the sadness, right? The other night we had the sadness. The night before we did Imprint, which is 20 years old now, pretty much. So we're going all the way back to 1979, and one of the first full moon features a Charles Band production. Chalet, welcome, dude. We are talking 79's Tourist Trap. This bad boy has a lot to say. This is a great little roadside attraction film, and I'll tell you, every time I watch this film, it's so much fun. There's so much like sleaze and just like it's so unnecessary in every way. So I'm stoked to talk about it tonight. I wrote a bunch of notes. We're gonna break it down, and then I got something to unbox. And yeah, let's just get wherever you are. Grab some Oreos in the back. We got some beers too. I'm not drinking right now. We got water. Don't listen. Do what you want to do. Let's check it. But for real, what's the best Christmas cookie out there? You get, you got the whole family gathered around, and you got this giant spread, right? This platter. Christmas cookies. What's the best? I mean, really, what's the best? You got those little gingerbread things, right? You got the gingerbread man, you got the Christmas tree, you got the little cakes, the little Debbie's. I know that doesn't count, but those things are bomb fire, everything. And then you got shortbread cookies, right? You got those little kind of, are they Danish ones? They come in a metal tin that your grandma let you you just wanted the pretzel one, with the little sugar crystals on top of that bad motherfucker. For whatever reason, you can never get more than just one. And you know that there's like 3 in a tray and then 3 in a tray. Anyway, Danish cookies are the bomb. I had some European cookies at work today. Like, you're like reading the box, like, what the hell? What? There's like 25 kinds. Can we just agree that like sugar cookies, hand frosted are the best Christmas? I mean, chocolate chip cookies and a sugar cookie. Reign supreme. Anyway, let's back to the movie. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of full moon features? Do you think of the image, that awesome logo? Do you think of Ginger Dead Man, Evil Bonk? I'm sorry. Killjoy? No, not really. For most of us, I think that Puppet Master and Subspecies and Castle Freak for me are just kind of like the highlights, the best of the best from Charlie Band. But somehow I always forget about a violent little slasher, this sleazy thing from 1979 called Tourist Trap. Now, firing right out of the chamber, this thing looks hotter than a pistol, and it really sets up what we would come to call the traveling sideshow, the horned up teenage roadshow with car trouble. Perfected masterfully a few years earlier by the legend himself, Tobe Hooper, in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Tourist Trap, it's a familiar flick. It's equal parts Funhouse, House of Wax, maybe a little smidge of Chainsaw and Psycho, kind of hodgepodge together into a tropical elixir of violent terror. A roadside attraction and flat tires stalls out any chance of normalcy for the group, who wander into a museum of life-size dummies, paint thinner, and all sorts of cackling fuckery. Before even hitting the 10-minute mark, the Western Museum, the Slossons, has caught its first victim and uses a heavy amount of strange and bizarrely timed dolls, masks, shelving, cabinets, and effects to unnervingly punish and creep out this here viewer for this lowly, safe little PG rating. Now, things to remember, the parental guidance 13 rating, that wouldn't even exist until 1984. Can you imagine seeing this madness as a kid? Can you imagine how scary this would be for anybody that's under 13, or just parental guidance? Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, we're going down to the den, right? Bad parenting. This would be just a horrifying film for anybody that's under 13, no matter what. This shit's traumatizing, and it's just straight hardcore. It's fucking yum, get you some. It's a big deal, man. Everyone in this film is in such a damn hurry. Let's slow things down a little bit. It's PG after all, and only 70s nudity is allowed here. The setting of Tourist Trap is somewhere south. I'd imagine like Texas or Louisiana, where the water moccasins skim the creeks, swamps, and mud holes. My grandfather was actually, he's from Oklahoma. He was bit by a cottonmouth, and that's a long story. Let's anyway, back to the story. Our group of teens, they're searching, they're separated from their party, of course, and they end up at Slosson's Lost Oasis. That's a hard thing to say. Slosson's Lost Oasis, a former tourist attraction full of mannequins and ice cold Dr. Pep. No! Not Dr. Pepper. This is your first clue that something is really, really wrong here. This museum curator doesn't give these teenagers cold Dr. Peppers. He gives them hams, beers. Nobody likes hams anyway, right? So that is a strong first clue that this thing is about to get a little bit off the rails. The thing about these mannequins in this film is they are just a real treat to look at, I should say. They're sort of a mixture of a wax museum and I don't know what. They're very intricate though, and they're set up to kind of tell a story. Hell, some of them even use firearms. Of course, these youngsters are warned to stay away, but that never works. Not in a film like this. What's cool about Tourist Trap is it's like a creepypasta come to life. The way that it sets up its shots and its horror, its tension, every mannequin in every room has been placed there for a reason. And if you weren't scared of them before, you might be after this film. I don't care how old you are. What seems harmless is actually cruel, and it has a sinister purpose, kind of like that CCR song. The dolls have a supernatural malevolence. Their eyes move, as does the furniture, chairs, and clothing. Everything in this little museum, while it may be models, it is working to snuff you out. A lot of the dolls are pretty to look at, but not all of them. Some of these things, when I say pretty, it's kind of like a reference to Leatherface, if you will. It's a cannibal chainsaw, right? It's different. They can mime, they can laugh, they can impersonate sounds, and it's just pretty neat. And shout out to that 70s score, man. The score in this film, it really gives like a little bit more meat and potatoes to this film because it is kind of like an uneven film a little bit. We're going to get into that, but you know, the everyman Pino Donaggio, something like that. Pino Donaggio, Don't Look Now, Carrie, Dressed to Kill. It's going to remind you of things like Burnt Offerings, Trilogy of Terror, and it excels in keeping things nice and tight and punchy when the vibe, sometimes it does need a little bit more interestingness to it. But what's so impressive about this film is it's very unique, and its commitment to going much farther than it really should have for a PG film. It's really one twisted psychosexual carnival ride. Remember that feeling you used to get when you would go through a haunted house? As a kid, you'd be like, pull back the little curtain, and you'd see somebody like in the window, and you're like, this is not really scary. This is just kind of odd. Why is that out of place? Everything's just a little bit different. There's a little bit of that to this film. It's like, is this fucking with me? There's a lot that happens multiple times in this film where it's kind of a bait and switch. It's kind of a cat and mouse game. There's a hankering for some of that 70s sleaze and cheese. What we do get though is we get to watch victims turned into nightmarish dolls. Others are chased through the swamp with a crazy doll head that moves and attacks freely. And if that doesn't get you, maybe a cottonmouth will, right? This is a true cult classic in every sense of the word. It's really though a tale of two halves, right? The better half, I think, is loaded with very bizarre and off-putting mannequins that have supernatural abilities and kind of fucked up timing. They belong more in a film like Funhouse or Puppet Master than in this last half of the film. The second half focuses much more on less of the supernatural and more of like a hostage film, kind of pretending to be like this jaunting, whimsical music over the better, chiller thrills that happen in the beginning. So it's a little bit uneven. That's not going to end it for you, though. I think for what this is killer. It's a throwback classic. It's really comfortable in its own skin. And I'm saying that this is definitely worth trying on for all right. I'm out of bad dad puns. That was god awful. Now onto this piece of physical media itself. This Tourist Trap right here is uncut. This is from Full Moon Features. And the best part is it looks better than the DVD. So this is not beautiful. It looked fine on my Blu-ray player. Another thing, Charles Band, no subtitles. I'm watching a movie. It's 11 o'clock at night and people are sleeping. I need to be able to have I'm addicted now, man. I can't stop. I've been reading subtitles for like 20 years. You can't not have that on there. You gotta give me subtitles. Anyway, I compared this to the streaming version. This is sharper than the streaming version, and it's way better than the DVD, but this has got a lot of film grain. Not as bad as something like Asylum or, some of those other Severin titles that have a lot of grain. It's very noticeable. There's a lot of grain still. And for what it is, though, you get some special features, not a ton. You get a commentary and a couple of rare trailers and an interview with the director, David Schmeller, whatever. So yeah, I bought this for the MDD sale. This was probably like $6. That's a great pickup, but this needs a really great 4K. It needs a big box set, something hard, something from Arrow, something from Umbrella, something Kajunga, something really cool. Imprint. Somebody put this thing out. Vinegar Syndrome, go and put it out if you want. It'll be $70. I'll buy it. Just kind of annoyed with them. Like, Congo? Really? No one watches Congo. You're just like killing the market, man. I love Congo. I watch it in the theater. I'm an old fuck, but $50 for Congo? Come on, man. What are we doing? So, and then there's some other good news. I know that I said that I didn't like this movie as much as the other films in the series, so don't get my words twisted. I was at Walmart today, walked by the movies, and look what was there. Terrifier 3 with the lenticular slip. They also had, a Blu-ray, a DVD. They had 4 versions of this film. DVD, Blu-ray, a Steelbook 4K for $29.99. Or the standard slip with the lenticular cover for $27.99. I thought that Steelbook looked like trash. I was sitting there in the aisle, I was like, $2 more. Steelbook's supposed to be better. I kind of hate the way this looks. I flipped it over. I was comparing them. So I think this looks actually incredible with the little lenticular slip. And then you pull it off and you've got the 4K right there, 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray. Get this off of here. See what's inside. No digital code, right? It's fine. Not everything has to have a digital code. Does it have no reversible cover art? But yeah, for $27.99, I think that this looks pretty damn good. Now, the inside of the Steelbook, I was watching Frank's, one of his posts or something, maybe on Instagram, Frank's Media Reviews. Check him out. But yeah, he picked up that Steelbook, and the inside artwork is way killer. This is just, the other one, the outside just looked like trash. I'm like, I don't want that on my shelf. It's just gonna look bad. So I did really like Terrifier 3. I just thought compared to 1 and 2, it was the weaker of the 3. And now that it's almost Christmas, I can feel comfortable watching this in the season that it was made for. Don't put this thing out in Halloween. Maybe you'll go watch it in the theater. We'll see. So guys, if you want to see more from me, please like, comment, subscribe, talk some shit down there. If you're brand new, totally, dude, welcome. Come on in. The water is fine. Everybody's doing it, right? And then follow me on social media if you want to, on Instagram, and there's some more cool stuff coming. We're going to talk Reanimator. I teased it. We're talking Lovecraft soon. I can't even get into it. There's certain things I haven't covered yet. Texas Chainsaw, The Shining, right? There is some huge titles out there that I just have not done because they're too sacred, and there's some Lovecraft films that are like that for me too. So whatever you are, however you found me, thanks for being here. Take care. Cheers.